everyone. I'm Leanne Jackson, senior law editor at Forbes. It has been a monumental legal week, and today is one of the biggest cases of all, the sentencing of President-elect Donald Trump in his state case in New York for falsifying business records. He's before Judge Juan Merchan. And we have our legal analyst, Jon-Jorge Aras, here joining us, the founder of Aras Law. And he's going to break down a little bit about what happened and what comes next for the president-elect. Jon-Jorge, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. So today I had the opportunity to watch the hearing and see what was happening with President Trump. And in this matter today, he was sentenced. He attempted through his counsel to try to block this and to try to delay it through the Supreme Court, which denied his request to do that. So today was the sentencing where essentially President Trump was giving what's called an unconditional discharge, which really means that he's not facing any sort of criminal ongoing probation or any sort of sentence connected to any jail time. It's basically the end of the case. Juan Merchan is the judge that put it into place. And President Trump did have an opportunity to speak today at the hearing, and he echoed his position that he thought that this case was ill-conceived and that he was innocent of the allegations lodged against him. And his attorney also echoed that they were likely going to appeal this case. So while it's the end of it today, in terms of the unconditional discharge and Juan Merchan's ruling, I do suspect that we'll likely hear something about this case in the future through an appeal.
Yeah, Trump's team has indicated that they intend to appeal. This is something he has tried to appeal, delaying this sentencing to begin with till either after his inauguration or just indefinitely. However, the appeals court in New York denied his application to stay, and the Supreme Court, interestingly, also denied any application yesterday. They denied an application to stay the sentencing, and I'd just like to discuss the breakdown of the justices' decision on that. Four of them said that they would have heard his application, whereas five justices decided against it. And partly, as you mentioned, the unconditional discharge, there's really no punishment other than a criminal conviction, the first conviction of a sitting president, former or current president in the United States. So that is something that clearly Trump does not want on his record. However, the justices, can you talk about the breakdown of, are you surprised at all that they decided not to stay his application or stay his sentencing, or even to hear the application and the breakdown of the justices on that?
So it was broken down in 5-4. The court was almost evenly split. I think what tipped the court is to what you were alluding to earlier is that the Supreme Court knew that there was going to be an unconditional discharge. So they knew that this wasn't going to result in any sort of actual sentence for President Trump. And I think that that really underlined and made them come to the decision that they came to. We know that the Supreme Court does believe very strongly in the immunity and the breadth of presidential power and what a president can be prosecuted for and what they can't be prosecuted for. They have a wide scope of that. So I wasn't surprised to see the court be close on this issue, but I really think this came more down to procedure, less so a substantive question of law, whether or not he could be, convicted of this sort of act. I think for them, it was move this thing forward. And they also realize, most likely, that President Trump is going to appeal this decision, right? He's going to appeal the ruling from the state court and try to find a way to, like you said, protect his reputation and not have that mark as being the only sitting president to have a felony conviction.